everyone, welcome to the Creatives Tarot, the YouTube channel that helps you supercharge your creativity and pursue your passions. My name is Melissa. I am very excited that you're here today. We're doing a tarot reading for Tarot Tuesday, and this is a productivity tarot reading. So we're going to be looking at energy around you and how to be more productive this week, how to increase your productivity this week with your creative projects and your creative businesses. I'm really excited to get into this. We have a classic pick a card. So I'm going to pull those cards up right now and you can take a look at those cards. I want you to look at each of the piles and let's just go. Let's pick our pile and then you can jump to the reading in the description below. All right, let's take a closer look at these piles. We have 3 piles here for you to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the sandstone, pile number 2 with the amethyst crystal, and pile number 3 with the rose quartz. Feel free to pause this and reflect, but I want you to just close your eyes, ground yourself, and see which pile you're being drawn to. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. All right, group 1, if you chose group 1 with this sort of sandstone beach rock, this is your reading. We're going to get into this. Every single reading has a different spread that we drew for that particular group. So we're going to walk through each of the cards together. So your 3 cards or themes for the spread were intention, define, and synchronicity. And we're going to walk through the tarot cards that came up with that. But essentially, intention. What is your intention for the week? What is it that you're that you want to achieve, that you hope to achieve? We're going to talk about defining what you want, defining what success looks like, and then we're going to talk about synchronicity, luck, the universe, things working on behalf of others, and how do the cards fit in. So let's pull up your first card. So the first card was the World card. I'll show it here, but you can see it on screen as well. So the World card signals completion. So if this came up, what this means is that you're ending a project soon. You're nearing completion. Maybe you just finished a draft of a script, or you just finished a manuscript. You just turned something into an agent or editor, but there's completion happening and it's a big thing. I don't think it's a small thing. There's a completion on a big task. That's your intention, or that's the energy of you just having completed something. You have define. For your define, you have the Hanged One, which is similar to the Hanged Man in traditional decks. And essentially, I always think of this as meaning pause, like take a beat and take a breath. And I think that's true with the intention this week in this particular read, because we also have this stop, drop, and ground. And a lot of times we rush from one thing on our to-do list to the next. We just jump, and we try to check off as many things as possible. But the energy here this week is like, in order to be productive, you actually do need to do some of that self-care, some of that healing, some of that grounding. Give yourself a moment to reflect and recover from the completion of the task that you just did. And in that space, it's not that you're not being productive, but you're allowing for more synchronicity to happen, allowing for more innovation to happen. So I think you're going to need to take that space. And because this Hanged One came out with define, I think you need to articulate what it is that you're going to do to protect that space that you need, right? I think it's one thing to say at the beginning of the week, I want to practice self-care, or I want, a couple of hours to reflect, or I'm going to binge watch TV. But like, what's stopping you from doing that? Like, you need to clearly define what this break looks like for you. Is it getting physical? Is it getting outdoors? Is it, having a wine date with your BFF? Like, what does that actually look like and mean for you? And write it down, articulate it so that you have some accountability there, because otherwise it's just going to get brushed off and you're going to start doing the most urgent thing. But I encourage you to question the urgency here. Synchronicity. For the synchronicity, you have the 4 of Pentacles. And this speaks to hoarding, to protecting, to hiding away, right, for a rainy day. This desire, this scarcity mindset that comes with this card. And Yeah, like what's surrounding you. With synchronicity, it says, what are the signs and meaningful coincidences that surround you right now? What do you need to pay attention to? And so I think this is about protection. What are you being overly protective of? What are you preventing from going out into the world? Are you protecting your own ego? From rejection? Like, are you afraid to submit something because you're afraid people will criticize it? And so you're protecting your heart, protecting your ego from that criticism? Or is it something else? Are you afraid to take a chance on your business and afraid to invest in the business because you're worried that that money won't come back to you, that resource won't come back to you? Are you afraid to share your work with your critique group because you don't want people to judge it and you think this is your only idea? I know a lot of, especially writers, are afraid to share ideas and afraid to brainstorm and collaborate with other people because they're afraid somebody's going to steal their idea. And that's this Four of Pentacles energy. It's this sense of like, I'm protecting my creative genius and I don't want anybody to come near it. But like, if you don't allow people to come near it, like you can't grow this, you can't multiply it. So just know that that energy is there and you want to fight that temptation, resist that temptation this week to hide something away or to be overbearing or overprotective of something. A couple of other themes that came up. So we already talked about the stopping ground card that came up for you, but we also have the limitations, inspire and innovations card, right? And so limitations, let's talk about that for a minute. This is scarcity mindset. This is limiting beliefs. These are the things that you tell yourself that are holding you back. And so I do think that this card in particular for you all, because of that Four of Pentacles energy that's out and very strong, is, reminding you to examine those limiting beliefs and make sure that they're not keeping you from being inspired or innovating. Like, make sure that you know that those are beliefs that are not set in stone, that you can change them, you can change the narrative. So I think that in taking that pause and taking that step back, it's going to allow you to get a clearer, fresh perspective, and it's going to inspire you to be innovative and to let go of the things that are no longer serving you, like this, right? This is not serving you right now. That's not the mentality that you want to be in. And trust that the universe will provide for you. Like, there is synchronicity. The universe will fill your cup again. I'm going to draw one quick affirmation for you. This is from our creative affirmators thing. So for group one, take a walk. Remember to take a walk this week. If you're getting stressed, if you're getting anxious, when you need that pause, do a daily walk in the morning or in the evening. Just get some fresh air and a change of scenery, and that's going to help open up your creative spirit. All right, that was your reading. I hope you found it helpful, and hopefully this will help you supercharge your productivity this week. As always, like, subscribe, and don't forget to sign up to the newsletter so that you can be eligible to win a free personalized tarot reading. All the links are in the description below. Have a wonderful week. I'm going to move on to group 2. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose group 2 with this beautiful amethyst crystal, this is your reading. Now, every single tarot spread that we're doing is different. So these 3 cards came out for your reading. We had align, excuse, and express. So alignment, to connect deeply, to return to proper course, to live within your truths. That's what we're talking about first. You also have this energy around excuse. So what excuses are you making? What's holding you back? What are you refusing to face in terms of your problems, or refusing to take ownership over? That's going to aid you in being more productive this week. And then express. What do you need to communicate or express? What is Spirit trying to tell you or communicate to you? And what do you need to communicate to others? So let's look at the tarot cards that came out for this. You had 4 cards come out for alignment. You had the moon. You have the moon for alignment, which the moon speaks to our subconscious, right? The things that we're not aware of on a daily basis, our dreams, altered reality, like our true authentic self. And so I think you need to get in touch with your subconscious. You need to give yourself space to really ask the questions of what is it I'm trying to achieve? What do I really want to achieve? Allow yourself to be free. There's a lot of themes here this week about freedom. You have the Child of Swords as an excuse. What excuse are you telling yourself this month or this week? And the Child of Swords in reverse tells me that you're not being inquisitive. You're not giving yourself, you're telling yourself, I have too many things to do. I have too many deadlines. I have too many projects, too many responsibilities. You're not allowing yourself space to ask questions, to research, to investigate, to explore, and to learn. And like your heart is craving that. You want to crave that. And actually taking the time to do that is going to actually make you more productive because it's going to give you the right information to make better decisions. So I definitely feel like the excuse that you're telling yourself is there's not enough time to do this step. And yet you need to do it. You want to do it. What are you expressing? What do you need to express? What is Spirit expressing to you or communicating to you around productivity? You have the Five of Cups, right? The Five of Cups speaks to loss, grief. You're focused on something that you've lost, something that didn't go right, and that's distracting you, and it's creating a sense of urgency right now. So maybe it's a project that wasn't well received, that isn't working out the way that you want. Maybe you had some technical issues that caused you to lose a copy of your manuscript or a version of your song. Like now you have to recreate this thing and you're really fixated on like this thing that I lost was the best version. It's the best possible thing that I can do. And that's not true. So you need to stop focusing on the grief and focusing on the thing that you lost. And remember that there's a lot of potential here to create and do something better. And you have the Ace of Wands. This Ace of Wands, actually, I feel like in reverse, is very similar to the Child of Swords. The Ace of Wands speaks to ideas, and I get the sense that there is something passionate that you want to do, like ideas that are connected to your purpose, connected to your soul mission, your passion. There's a new idea, new project, and you're denying it. You're ignoring it. You're going, la, 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 la. I cannot hear it. I do not see it. I do not want to engage or think about this because I'm throwing a pity party. I'm too busy throwing this pity party to focus on something new or different, a new approach, a new calling, a different thing. Like you just want to feel sad for yourself. And it's time to stop doing that. It's time to move on from that position. What can help? Get elemental. Get elemental, go back to the basics. And what this means is like, look at the problem from fresh eyes, but also look at the basic, steps, the basic requirements of what you're trying to do. Because my guess is that whatever you lost, it was just a draft anyway. It was just practice. Like when you redo it, you're going to get better and that's okay. So go back to the basics, go back to the elementals, simplify things, and you're going to get clarity and you're going to be able to move forward at a much quicker pace. And then you have Creator Water. Right. And this is, speaks to me, this speaks to flow. Like you will get in the groove, you will get in the flow. Water is so powerful. Water holds memory. Water represents emotions. It represents fluidity. What I love about water is it always moves in the path of least resistance. Right. And so this speaks to the effortlessness that can come from this work if you allow yourself to go back to the basics. And if you get in tune with this moon, right? The moon I love too, because the moon controls water. It can control tides. It's really about our emotions, our core being. And there's a wildness here. There's a freedom here that is just begging to get room to breathe and to have space. So what I would tell you this week is like, if you're wanting to be maximize your productivity creatively, you do need to acknowledge whatever it is that you lost. That sucks. Write it down, give yourself a 5-minute pity party, and then move on. And just know that the next thing that you do is going to be stronger. But give yourself that space. You're not wasting time by asking questions. You're not wasting time by jotting down a new idea or project. Like that may actually feed into the thing that you've lost. Give yourself that space and that freedom to really, really go back to the basics and to listen to your heart and your intuition. Trust your intuition here on the story that you need to tell, the project that you need to create, the decision that you need to make, get back in touch with the thing that made you fall in love with this business in the first place. And that is going to fuel you. And once you get into that groove, you're going to be able to create and manifest and move projects forward fairly quickly. So it's not wasted time. You will make that time up. Let me draw let me draw just like an affirmation card for the week. Let's see what card do you have, what affirmations you have for the group 2. I'm gonna grab this one. Yeah, improvisation, right? So make sure that you take time to improvise. You don't have to follow a set path, a set schedule, set rules. You can improvise, you can make mistakes, and that's okay. Mistakes are little gifts because they're ideas that you didn't have to think of. Oh, so there you go. Remember that. All right, this is your reading group 2. I hope you found it helpful. As always, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content and other people can see this and find the channel. I'm going to move on to group 3, but I hope that you have a wonderful, productive week. Take care. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your productivity tarot reading. If you chose this lovely, beautiful rose quartz stone or crystal, this is your reading. I'm really excited. Each of these readings had different spreads. So we're going to talk through the 3 cards that came out that make your spread and then the cards that came with those. So you had release, truth, and victory. Release, truth, and victory are the cards that came up for your spread. And this is your path to being more productive this week and engaging and charging your productivity. So what do you need to release? Well, first we have this Explorer of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands in a traditional deck, the Explorer of Wands in reverse. That Explorer of Wands, it essentially is telling me that you are holding on to something and you're moving through or navigating in a space with a lot of ego, with a lot of urgency and self-importance. And this is something that you need to release. I think there's a protective nature to a project that you're working on. And I'm just getting the sense that like your ego is getting in the way of this project or how it's received, or it's stopping you from doing the next task in the process, whether that's finishing the story, whether it's putting the story down. I know for me, oftentimes when I'm in the beginning stages of creating a project, when it's in my head, it's perfect. And so that idea of like moving it to the blank page or a canvas, like that is really intimidating because I know it's not going to be as perfect when I start putting it down on paper. And so my ego can get in the way of me moving forward and being productive. And I have to release that ego and allow myself to do a really crappy first draft. Now you might be in completion. This could happen in any stage of the creative process. You could be at this moment where you need to send something to a group of peers for feedback and go through critiques. And that, again, can be intimidating. Maybe you have a beta reader or a street team that is going to give you initial feedback, or you need to send something to an editor or an agent, right? Like there is a part of ego that is just holding you back from that next step. And that's going to keep you from being productive. You also have what's the truth? What is the truth that you need to recognize right now? What tough love messages do you need to hear? And I'm sorry, guys, but you've got the 4 of Cups in reverse. The 4 of Cups in reverse, which 4 of Cups can speak to apathy, and not like disengaged. But when it's in reverse, I also think of complaining, right? Just being overly pessimistic, overly negative about the experience or the opportunities or the future. So I think you're judging yourself really hard with this project, and that's going to block your creativity. It's going to, again, keep you from moving forward. And that judgment, that criticism, that negative energy, like that is coming from your ego. It's coming from you trying to protect your ego. And that's why you're not moving forward as quickly as you want. It's going to distract you if you don't deal with it openly. And how do you get victory this week? What is your win? What does it look like for you? I think victory is not how many things you cross off your list this week. You have the Sun I can't even believe you have all these cards. You have the sun, you have you are light, and you have accept and receive. And this tells me all of this is about ego and self-confidence. The sun, you are the sun right now. Your talent is a beautiful gift. It is a blessing, and everything revolves around that. And you need to get comfortable standing in the sun, acknowledging your talent, acknowledging your gifts and your purpose, owning it and not being afraid of it. And I know that seems counterintuitive to this idea that I was talking about. You need to let go of the ego, but I really feel like that ego is internal. I feel like that ego is something that's creating you from moving forward in the process, and you're afraid to get hurt. So you're not stepping out into the world. You're not showing people or telling people about your success, about your creativity, about your projects. You're not owning the fact that you do have talent, that it comes innately and naturally to you, and that it is worthy of praise and attention. And ironically, it's like your ego is not the kind of ego that's reaching out and trying to be front and center. Your ego is about protecting you. It's about a fear of being vulnerable. And yeah, accept and receive. Are you accepting and receiving the blessings? This, like, the universe has given you this talent. Are you receiving it? Are you accepting it? Are you taking advantage of the opportunities that come in your way? Or are you casting them aside because you're afraid to get hurt? Yeah, because your ego is too strong, because you think you know everything, because you don't want to admit that maybe you need help, or maybe you need advice, or maybe you need another person to help you get through a certain stage. So yeah, that accept and receive is pretty strong. And you are light. I mean, what better card to come up with the sun than you are light? You are lightness. Your gift is a beauty. It is a joy. And it is something that can heal other people, that can carry other people. There is power, even if your story, even if the thing that you're working on is full of grief or tragedy or pain or heartache, there is always joy, and there is always lightness on the other end of that. And telling a tale about surviving, telling a tale about healing, telling a tale about recovery, that's what connects with audiences. And you will be the light for someone else as long as you acknowledge that, accept that, and stand in the sun. So what a beautiful victory that is for you. And I think working on your self-confidence, making yourself a little bit more vulnerable, do something a little outside of your comfort zone to share your work with the world. And you're going to, that is your productivity piece this week, right? It's not about word count, right? It's not about how many things you check off your list, right? For you, productivity is really doing this growth work, this shadow work, and this healing work, and the confidence work that is going to serve you for the rest of the month. Let's pull out an affirmation card for you. Optimism. How crazy is that? There's optimism. There's a little bumblebee here. Let's see what it says. I look forward with sunshiny eyes and believe in my path, that it is leading me to a brighter future. It may take a while, but that's okay. Soonish, I'll be doing everything I dreamt for myself, and I'll even be able to pay my bills while doing it. Hello. Yeah, so that, again, you are going to get there. You are on the right path, sunshine. You are light, and you need to embrace optimism this week and focus on that. So if you feel yourself getting weighed down, getting mired in the details, getting distracted or overly pessimistic, take a break, say your affirmations, and really focus on gratitude. Focus on the fact that you are called to do something and you have a gift, and focus on the impact that you can have on other people. So take the ego out of it and focus on the fact that in me and you standing and saying your truth, speaking your truth and being public, and putting your work out there, you are helping somebody else who's going to see that and be inspired by you and your words and not feel so alone. So focus on the other person instead of your own needs and your own ego, and that's going to help you move forward faster. If this helped and it's resonating with you, if you want to claim this energy as your own, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe so that other people can find this channel and the readings and benefit from all of the wonderful content that we have. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. The link is in the description. I give away one free reading every single month worth $100, one free reading. to a newsletter subscriber. So definitely hit that subscribe link below so that you get onto the email list, and you'll also get exclusive content. Sometimes I do reads just for my newsletter. So if you want more in-depth reads, that's the place to go. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. There's a new moon coming up, and there will be some new moon guidance in my newsletter. So again, sign up for that. Take care. Have a wonderful week. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.